Rating the Kingdom is back, episode 160, Ref Magic, aptly named. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Good. We got a win over the Raiders. And Nick got a win over the Raiders the week before, so it is a good Tuesday. Good Tuesday.
Isn't it Wednesday?
I feel like it's time for
it is Wednesday.
The bar higher.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, the 2-10 Raiders, is that what we're clamoring about? And you only beat us by 2 points, so...
Yeah, and the crazy thing is you guys would have won that game if your kicker wasn't 1 for 4 on field goals. How does that make you feel?
And we would have We would have just kicked it. We'll just get right into it. So, yeah, we would have just kicked it from the 49 if he was actually making his field goal. Yeah, but if he was making them, then we would have been fine, and that would have been it. But then,
Well, in the fantasy world that you live in, the Raiders are good. So,
I know they're not good, but false start versus illegal shift, and here we go. The refs step in and save the day for Patty Mahomes, and
at some point it has to get exhausting, right?
And what? Say that again.
At some point it has to be exhausting, right? Like
being the refs,
can't possibly think that they're not involved.
You have to know that there's some. Remember the conversation? They were filming them having a conversation at the beginning, and you could just see the ref say, "I know." Yeah.
It's hard to be on top, man. It's hard to be
Oh my! You're the new Patriots, dude. Everyone hates you. Nobody likes you.
Don't go there. I think we're more lovable than the Patriots, but
the Patriots actually had fans before their quarterback got there.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. You're probably not fully wrong on that. But yeah, the Chiefs. Mahomes has done a great job and has made the Hunts a lot of money getting people in there and loving Kansas City. There's no doubt about that. But we got the win, man. And we've had a couple wins this year where it's like, but again, it's in the win column. We're 10-1. Keep rolling.
Not 11-1?
We're 11-1. Yeah, sorry.
11-1. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the bye weeks.
When you win so much, sometimes you lose count.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. Anyway, so what's disappointing about this one, the Raiders ended up having more total yards, rushing yards, passing yards, and yards per play, and still couldn't get it done. Like you said, the 3 missed field goals was inexcusable. Yep. Aiden O'Connell wasn't terrible, 23
I thought Aiden O'Connell played pretty, he played pretty good. And I think overall the Raiders did play a better game. The Raiders and the Broncos in both our games – we played better than the Chiefs. And in all reality, probably should have won the game. I won't rehash memories for Nick in the Broncos game, but yeah, dude, I'm not gonna write the NFL and be like, hey, you really should rescind that win because it feels like it's cheap and not deserved. But a win's a win, and that's what happens. It happened with the Patriots. It happens with teams that are that dominant. And it's just kind of like with the college football playoffs, like Alabama getting in, right? It's a brand, right? And it's not the same thing, but it's the same concept. Sometimes the Chiefs are going to get calls that the Raiders don't. And that's just the bottom line. It's at Arrowhead. It's a prime time, not a prime time, but it's a prime day game. We got the dub.
Well, I was actually supposed to be in Missouri for that game.
Yep.
And my buddy's kid came 5 weeks early, so we kind of scrapped the whole thing. But I'm glad now I didn't go. Although it would have been exciting to be there at the end. And there are some up and coming players here. Like our top 2 running backs are out, and Sincere McCormick, who's an undrafted free agent, he was averaging 5.3 a carry, so he's stepping up big time. They just signed him to the active roster for this week. And then Brock Bowers, who I think should be the rookie of the year, had 10 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown. And one of those was a one-handed nasty grab. And he's doing it weekly. Yeah.
We talked about in the group chat, just, it's hard to not put fantasy in there. For all your fantasy needs, promo code RTK. Where do they go for that, Mr. Brennan? Underdog Fantasy? Is that where they go?
Underdog Fantasy. That's where they go.
RTK, baby. And my buddy almost won $1,500 using RTK. Missed the parlay by Travis Kelce not getting 2 more receiving yards. He would have won $1,500. So he did the over-unders, and so that sucks. But So that was our underdog promo, or not our underdog plug of the day. But Bowers has been an absolute beast. And at this point, what is the point of you guys winning? You guys know you guys need a quarterback. Suck, tank, right? But be competitive, and just look towards the future. Getting the Jets second round pick, you just have to have a really good draft this year. Have to, bar none. And Bowers is a huge piece to have. He's going to be I think he's arguably probably right up there as the best tight end in football now, and he's a rookie. Give him a couple more years and he'll be far and above the best.
Yep. Yep. No. So this was really the only game left that I wanted them to win. Like we're going to get swept by the entire division. It's already kind of a wrap. I don't like the idea of tanking, but I do like the idea of having a top 2 pick in the draft. And you'll see more Raiders fans talking about who we want to draft than talking about the actual games anymore. So it's kind of a wash.
And we all know, and I'll say it, we obviously have our off-season content coming and all the draft stuff coming, but like we've said on this podcast numerous times, and it's not rocket science, but like the quarterback is the single most important position in sports for any team, basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever it is. If you don't have a good quarterback, the likelihood of you winning a championship is very slim. So the Raiders need to do what they can to get up there and get that top quarterback that they feel is the one that they need. And if winning, they have no chance in the playoffs. So what's the point? You're playing for pride, but get the quarterback because that's what you need.
The only thing that makes me nervous is Max Crosby had said that he's kind of losing his mind at times with the losing. And obviously you had Devontae Adams leave because he couldn't stand losing. So you want to keep that.
That's not working out for him.
I know, right? But he still defends it. He still says, people don't know what I dealt with in Las Vegas. Well, you chose to go there, dude, and whatever. Yeah. And then Derek Carr left. Coach, do you want to talk about your left tackle situation?
Yeah, the left tackle situation is pretty bad, especially when you shift Joe Thuney over there, to left tackle because Wanda Morris and I'm not going to even try and pronounce their rookie tackle's name, just can't get the job done. And it's such a glaring hole. Luckily, we have like a superhuman like Patrick Mahomes. I feel like anybody else who had that left tackle predicament.
Got Chris Collinsworth over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Collinsworth.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's a good Collinsworth impression. But yeah, no, left tackle situation's terrible. Humphreys is coming in. DJ, the old guy from right? That's DJ Humphreys. I think that's his name. Yeah, DJ Humphreys. He was in the Pro Bowl a couple years ago for the Cardinals. So it can't get any worse. It really can't get any worse. So hopefully Humphreys does something to stabilize it to be better than it has been, because like I said, it's been absolutely horrendous. And how we've been able to get away for so long without really having that left tackle. Orlando Brown Jr., you see what he's doing since he's not playing. So that's something we'll need to address here in the future. But yeah, hopefully Humphreys does something, because goddamn, dude, it is bad. It is freaking terrible. It is horrendous. It's like I do not want to go to SeatGeek and use promo code RTK to watch a Chiefs game live with a left tackle play right now, okay?
Although you could with $20 off.
Promo code RTK if you want to see how to not play left tackle. Go see a Chiefs game live.
Yeah, like Caleb Von Chason was blowing right around the edge, and it wasn't even
like I was playing left tackle.
Yeah, and even Tyree Wilson was getting some snaps in where he was looking like he was about to get old.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Is Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, if Tyree Wilson's getting on at the quarterback, there's a problem there.
Nick, speak. I know you want to.
No, he's actually had a decent couple of weeks. He was looking rough for the first year and a half or so, but not going to say he's coming on for sure, but looks okay now.
He's got a couple sacks. He's doing better in the run game. Coach knows this a little more so, but last year when I was writing for Raider Ramble, I was tasked with watching every single one of his snaps every single week for the entire season.
It's a long season.
It is. So I did get to see.
We can copy and paste most of your articles.
To be honest, most of it. He tried power. He tried power again. Okay, he has no other moves. That's it. There's no speed rush. His get off is slow. Yeah, but there has been an improvement. He's getting better against the run. I mean, Coach and I met him in person, and he's a massive human being. So I was still skeptical about the pick, but it was cool to meet him and do all that. But he is getting better. Still not 7th pick overall better, but he's doing all right. So Raiders fall to 2-10. Chiefs are the worst 11-1 team in the history of the world.
Yeah, I said that to a friend too. Like they're probably the worst 11-1 team that there's been in a very long time, but
for a while,
for a very long time. Yeah,
but we can say it all we want until they lose. It doesn't matter,
right?
They just continue to win. So.
And the record is still their record. So yeah, it is what it is. So on the subject of teams that found a quarterback in the offseason are doing well, Broncos have another W on probably one of the better Monday night games that we've had in a long time. So Nick, you want to go into that?
Yeah, this is our first primetime game in a while. I know we have one flex later, but when I think of Broncos primetime, what usually comes to mind is the Broncos Colts game from 2 years ago, Russ's first year. Where it was like 11-10 and just the worst game of all time. So at least this wasn't that. And we got the win. Jameis is going to be Jameis. We talked about it a little bit before recording, but that's just who Jameis is. He's going to burn you, and he's going to burn himself. Defense, I mean, look, Levi Wallace needs to have a seat. He's done. I mean,
he's cooked.
I'm 100% sure any three of us could have done what he did out there. It was, I know there was one play near the end. It was probably, I think it was 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. And he lines up, nobody over the top, nobody coming to help. He's clearly one-on-one. And I sat on the couch to myself. I said, he's going to run a slant and he's going to get burnt at 15 yards immediately. Like it was embarrassing. I don't know how he steps on the field again. To be quite frank, I don't know that he does. He was replaced by Chris Abrams-Drain, who we drafted, I want to say 3rd round, although that feels a little high now that I'm saying it. But he couldn't have played any worse, so they decided to go with it. Let's switch to Bo. Bo's stats were definitely not what they had been, but he might have had the throw of the year, in my opinion.
That deep shot down the middle. Oh my God.
You want to talk about threading a needle? Goodness gracious.
That was like prime Aaron Rodgers-esque.
That
was legit.
It was one of those that like he throws it and you see the camera pan over and it's the two safeties converging and you're like, that's not good. And then Marvin was just running down the field by himself. And you're like, how did that get through? It was one of the better throws I've definitely seen all year. I'm open to listen to other options, but throw of the year, I feel like it's got to be up there. He did have a couple picks. The first pick is just a great defensive play. What are you going to do? The second pick is one of those that looks like a rookie learning moment. I think next time he sees that exact same thing, he's going to say, tried that already, didn't work, probably not going to throw it this time. Because what we forgot in these last 5 weeks, he's still a rookie. They're going to make mistakes. It is what it is.
But if this is his progression now,
right?
We're going into week 14. You guys could still potentially make it into the playoffs, but
they are. I mean, they're in the playoffs or the 7th seed.
We've got a 2-game lead right now.
Yeah,
I just saw something today that, let me think. If we go 2-2 in our last 4, and which means we probably beat the Colts.
Bless you.
Then as long as the Dolphins lose like one game, I think we clinch. Or if we go, I don't remember exactly, but I mean, we're really not that far from clinching. It's like a week or two. Obviously, we have a bye week coming up, but then after that, it's like a week or two.
But even if you have, a rough playoff appearance, you still have to be so optimistic for 2025.
The only thing I wanted at the end of this year was to be able to say for sure whether or not Bo was the guy. That's all this year is about. See what he's got. And I mean, weeks ago I was in. So anything now is just icing on the cake.
Yeah. No, this is probably the best Broncos team you guys have fielded in 4 years. Because, I mean, we had that 8-game win streak against you guys. It's a lot better now.
2016, we went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. And it's probably the best team since then.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember talking to you at the beginning of the year, and you were just hoping that there'd be some chance you'd end up getting like Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen now.
I don't think we're gonna be in a spot to take Travis, unfortunately. Though he would help.
You just want to make sure Shedeur doesn't go to the Raiders, right?
I just don't want him in Vegas.
You and I are on the same page. I don't want him in Vegas either.
That's fine. If you want to drown in Cam Ward, you do that.
Cam Ward, baby.
I'm with that guy. Well, the draft, it's coming, man.
I know.
I know. I know.
I just submitted our credential request for the draft anyway, so there we go. For 3 spots.
For 3 spots in Green Bay, boys. What?
Oh, let's go. Yeah, more news on that later if that comes through. Anyways.
Real quick, just one more thing. Nick Bonito.
Beast.
He's kind of gone past Pro Bowl and he's looking at all pro at this point.
I would agree with that.
If he continues this, I mean, he looks dominant. The pick 6 flipped the game, which obviously it's a pick 6. Yeah, it flips the game. Have you seen what he did on that play? He guarded like unreal. 3 different receivers and then cut off the throw and went and scored. It was impressive.
He's a lot faster than I thought he was too.
He played safety, I guess, in high school. But he's so big.
At the end, yeah.
That I mean, and he had the hands. He looked good.
Yeah. And I remember when you guys drafted him, I was like, yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. He wasn't like
it was one of those that like if he turns out that could be a great pick, but so far it's like But I mean, year 1 he didn't do anything really. Year 2 was a little better. He had a little stretch where he played really well, and then he went cold for a while. So that's kind of what we were afraid of when this little stretch started. Is like, yeah, but we've seen this before. So let's see what he actually does. And he's half a sack off Trey Hendrickson for the lead in the league.
That's wild.
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing with Tyree Wilson. Sometimes you got to give these dudes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? And it's not immediate, and you can't I think look at that. Oh, he's number 7. He's got to be impact immediately.
Right.
We knew he was a project. And he's proven to be that, but
it's just hard to wrap your mind around a project at 7th pick overall when you don't have a quarterback.
I think the way they thought about it is this dude is so athletically gifted and such a man child that we need. I don't think they thought he would come in and be an immediate. You got Max Crosby for that, but you give him a year and a half, 2 years, and he develops and he kind of grows into himself and gets better coaching than he did at Texas Tech. He's gonna be fine. So I wouldn't give up hope on him. I know we dog him a little bit, but you got to give him some time.
But it still is a tough reminder. Like I watched the Ravens-Eagles game, and I was watching Jalen Carter, and I'm like, oh my, we could have had him at 7. That's I mean,
Cooper DeJean, man, rabbit for us white boys. Just
that hit on Derrick Henry. Oh my god,
dude. I bet you it's been years since Derrick Henry's been picked up like that.
On a solo tackle like that, that was. But by that dude, I couldn't believe it.
I think he's maybe 205, 210, if that.
I would say
Derrick Henry 250
at best. That's like soaking wet, and he got dropped. That's what happens when you get them Iowa boys in there, just like fucking farmers and doing their deal, and he's just baling hay, dude. Baling hay.
That's it. Chucking cows, apparently.
Yep, cow tipping.
All right. So Broncos and Chiefs win, as has been many weeks this year. I am still the loser. The only thing I am winning in is our picks contest. So let's get into our Week 14 predictions.
So let me ask you this: you said you already bought a Brock Bowers jersey. If you win,
I do. It's right over there. Yeah.
What do you? Well, cool. I can see it. Awesome. Whose jersey are you going to pick if you win?
Cam Ward, dude.
Cam Ward, dude.
After we draft him, obviously.
This guy. Yeah, might just double up on Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I would get the white.
Get two.
Yeah, just go white.
I would just get 2. Yeah, that's what I would do.
God damn it! I was gonna wear the Brock Bowers jersey today, but I just wasn't in the mood. Maybe next week.
Maybe once they win.
Then I'll never wear it, I guess. All right. The Week 14 predictions. Just write that down. Cam Ward jersey. So I'm leading our predictions with 127. Coach is next with 125, and Nick is rounding out third with 119. But obviously a tight race nonetheless. So I'm curious what you guys are going to do for this week, just to mix things up. And since Nick's in last, we'll go Nick first for Thursday Night Football, Packers and Lions.
I'm not picking against the Lions until they give me a reason to. So give me Detroit. I think it's in Detroit too.
It is.
Yeah.
Coach?
Yeah.
Man, I've been thinking about this since after Thanksgiving. Need to move the needle here. I need to move the needle.
Do it.
And I love Dan Campbell. This has been a thing for the last couple of years. Biting
Yeah,
kneecaps.
you were always a fan. Yep.
Love the way he coaches. I'm gonna pick Green Bay.
Love it.
Starting off hot. I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah.
That's one that I couldn't take the flyer on, but I'm going to go Lions. Wow, we're starting off hot. All right, this one should be a real nail biter. I'll just take the lead on this one. Raiders versus Bucks. I'm going to go Bucks. I don't want to say anything else about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bucks as well. Great comeback win there. I thought the Panthers had them.
I am taking the Raiders in this one.
What? Oh
Yep.
God, Nick, you savage.
It's time to start making up some ground, and AOC didn't play bad. I'm going with it. Let's do it.
Wow.
I do love Baker, though. It's hard to root against Baker, and I'll still be rooting.
That's what I've been. I've always been a Baker guy, dude.
Actually, no. You know what? At this point, I kind of need to cheer for the Raiders. Yeah, you know what? We're all in on the Raiders.
Wow.
All in.
And I definitely wasn't always a Baker guy until the Browns shipped him off, and then I decided I wanted to root for him. Yeah.
And look at him now. Well, not now because they have Jameis, and Jameis is awesome too.
Right, but still, they're dug into the Deshaun Watson contract, and they're never getting out from under.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even dig into Jerry Jeudy. We didn't even talk about it.
I meant to bring that up because I hate Jerry. I hate him, and he said it was. They said it was a revenge game. It was his revenge game, but you still didn't win.
So I don't hate Jerry Jeudy, and from day one, I thought he was going to be awesome, and he just never figured it out in Denver. And his problem is all the cocky stuff he does, standing up on the bench, telling the Broncos fans to boo him. That's all great when he's winning. When things aren't going well, Jerry's Jerry. He gets on Twitter and he's talking shit to people. And it's like, that's just who Jerry is. And talent-wise, I still think he's got a chance to be really good. And obviously, he was against Levi Wallace, but he's a talented guy, and obviously him and Jameis have something going. But I think we made the right decision.
He was ranked in the 30s or 40s as far as now he's like number.
He's like number 4, I think. Yeah.
So he was on my fantasy team, and he
on the bench. I'm guessing.
No, he started. He was a starter.
Oh, you did start him.
Yeah, I did start.
Baby,
beast moded out, but yeah, I feel like it's that that Ben Affleck meme where he's just like outside, he's like smoking a cigarette, and he's just like so annoyed. I feel like that was all Broncos fans when they saw Jerry have that game. They're just like,
well, and Jameis missed him on a deep one too.
Yeah,
and he was wide open.
Yeah. Oh, it could have easily been 300.
We got a question here. Y'all just came up on my recommended page and clicked. Appreciate that. I presume you're Raiders fans. Well, one of the 3 of us are Raiders fans. What are your thoughts on having to face Bucky Irving this upcoming week? Good question from Abe Jolis.
I love the idea of the Raiders having to face me this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about Bucky Irving. Looked fantastic last week, and granted it was against the Panthers, but with Bryce Young kind of being rejuvenated, that whole team seems like they have a little more up in their step. I am not excited about Bucky Irving. Yeah, Jesus, I'm tired. And him and Rachaad White are probably both gonna mop us up. So no, I'm not excited about it. Our run defense has been questionable. Defense is definitely better than the offense, but still, I think the Bucks with a semi decent O-line are gonna have a day.
Yeah.
So sorry, Nick. I don't know if that bet's gonna really hold, but we appreciate the question, Abe. And back to our predictions, Coach. You have Jets at Miami.
Jets at Miami. I got Miami winning this game. It's a must-win game for Miami. The whole Jets implosion has just been something that it needs to have a documentary on it. Just I like almost wish that they were filming. They're doing like this is the season of the Jets because they're going to finally make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Can you imagine if they were on Hard Knocks?
Oh man, it'd be prime time. You got to put that stuff not on HBO. You got to put it where everybody can watch it. Because it is unreal. It's the Jets will jet, and Miami will get the win. It's in Miami. They got to win this game. They'll come ready to play. I think the Dolphins get it.
I'm with you. I'm taking Miami.
Yep.
Nick.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same reason. I'm not picking Detroit to lose until they do. I'm not picking the Jets to win until they do.
Right.
Exactly. It's a good way to think about it.
And there is a Aaron Rodgers documentary coming out, but it's all about weird whatever stuff.
I can't imagine it's going to be about his football. I just can't imagine.
Abe said, love it. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, Abe. Thank you for the question. I filter out a lot of these, unfortunately, because they're interesting. Nick, you've got Saints versus Giants. Yeah.
Oh, man. As much as I love my boy Drew, he really let me down last week. So I'm just going to stick with the Saints on this one.
Derek Carr. Oh, yeah. Coach, who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Saints as well. I think Alvin Kamara is going to do some work, and Saints still have a chance. That NFC South is still kind of just wide open.
Yeah,
it is. Kirk Cousins. We can talk about that when the Falcons come, but yeah.
Well, funny you say that. We have Falcons and Vikings up next. I'm also taking the Saints, by the way. I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. Kirk did not look great last week. Bijan looked outstanding per usual, but he didn't get the ball nearly enough, I think.
They use Tyler Algier way too much.
Oh, my God. I just don't get
that. For a team with Bijan Robinson, what are you doing?
It's the same thing with Josh Jacobs. Give him 20-plus carries, and your winning percentages are through the roof. I'm going Vikings, 100%. I was a Falcons believer in the beginning. I'm not right now.
For me, part of me wants to go Falcons because it's like Kirk Cousins is going back to Minnesota, and it's just like
probably should
his return game. You know what? Screw it. Me and Nick are splitting the jersey anyway, so I'm gonna go Falcons.
No, give me the Vikings. If I can pick one up on Coach there, I'll just go.
Go ahead and take advantage. There you go. All right, I like that. Oh, and I had lost focus on it, but when we talked about Jerry Jeudy and going on Twitter, he put, I don't remember what his latest one was. It was before the game though. And I commented something about, preach wide receiver 70. And I got quite a few Broncos fans sending me private messages telling me to go off and things of that nature. So
wait, Broncos fans?
Yes, that we're still defending him because I'm a Raiders fan. So yeah. So actually, I don't know if any Browns fans messaged me. I think it was like
I
3 Broncos guys. Yeah.
It just, again, he's got the talent, but dude can run his mouth with the best of them. There's no way around it.
It's probably what he's the best at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, you've got Panthers and Eagles. Tough one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong. Bryce Young's rejuvenation has actually been really cool to watch, but I'm not picking him over the Eagles.
No. Coach?
Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, Eagles.
But it's
good to see Bright. We were all dogging him. He hasn't been at the best. He's got a good coach. Dave Canales is going to get him right, and now they can build the offense around him. And I think they're good. They don't think they need.
And not that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but from the beginning, I said nobody has a worse situation going into it than Bryce Young does.
No,
that team was atrocious.
It was atrocious, and just being a number 1 pick, man. If Bryce Young was the number 13, 14th pick, we wouldn't think anything of it. But since he's number 1, we have these exorbitant expectations. Which, I mean, all things considered, we probably should have. But I think he'll be all right.
And probably the worst owner in the league too.
Yeah,
so
what a douchebag, dude! Straight up,
stinks. He stinks.
David Tepper, get on the podcast.
We'll have you on the show, pal.
Yeah.
Let me. And then Jonathan Brooks, though, from Texas.
Beast.
He looked good.
He looked really good.
I scooped him up in fantasy in 2 leagues. I mean, a little too late, but I think he's got some potential there.
Let's not start about fantasy.
We won't do that.
Oh.
All right, Coach, you've got Browns and Steelers, AFC North rivalry matchup. By the way, the AFC North Hard Knocks episode was fantastic. If anyone hasn't seen it yet.
No, you know what? I haven't.
It's good.
Yeah,
Very good.
this is a tough one because the Browns they play. I mean, they went in and beat Baltimore, right?
And Pittsburgh. They're 1-0 against Pittsburgh, I think.
They're 1-0 against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because it was the snow game.
Mm-hmm. Reluctantly, I'm going to take Pittsburgh, but push comes to shove, I really do think that the Browns might win this game. But I'm just gonna block Pittsburgh in. Final answer.
Final answer, Nick.
You want to go Browns, Nick? You want to make up some ground?
That's the problem is I got to make up some ground. But do I want to put my trust in a guy who just threw 2 pick sixes?
He didn't choose
I do
to
not.
do that. He's praying to God that he stops.
I do not.
Oh
You saw
man,
that? You saw that?
No.
He's now in prayer.
he's
Yeah.
such a likable guy, man. He's
He is.
hilarious.
He is.
But no, give me Pittsburgh at home.
I'm going Pitt as well.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin has those. This is probably one of the better Steelers teams we've had in a while, and Russell
Mhm.
Wilson is looking way better in Pitt than he did in Denver.
He is in goddamn George Pickens, bro. Just stop, dude.
He is. He's
Stop.
unhinged.
He's Antonio Brown reincarnated.
He is. But his
They
CT is
just duct
kicking in a lot
taped his mouth.
earlier.
They
Right.
just duct taped his mouth and let him play football. He'd be a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
He really would be.
He just can't stop fighting people. It's so.
No.
Oh my god! All right, Jags at Titans. Trevor Lawrence is done for the year. Jags stink anyways. They're probably going to be in a similar position as the Raiders. I'm going to go Titans for the win. Nick,
Agreed. Yep.
Titans, yeah.
Coach, Titans. I don't like betting on the Titans. It's probably the first time I picked them all year, but
One of the wilder hits I've ever seen on a sliding quarterback either, by the way.
oh my
Just
god,
wild.
that was an assassination.
That's like a
Yeah.
clothesline from hell, dude. That was like
Yeah.
It wasn't even
WWF
close.
shit.
No,
Yeah,
3-game suspension. I think they upheld it today too.
Yeah, they did.
they did.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Kind of another tight one with the NFC West. We got Seahawks versus Cardinals. Coach. That's a tough one.
That is a really tough one.
I think Seahawks are leading, but they're like 7 and.
I'm gonna go Arizona.
Coach with
I
Arizona.
don't think I've hit on a Cardinals game all year. If I
don't
pick
think
them
you
to
have
win, they
either, but
lose.
I think we got both.
If I
gotta go
pick them to
Cardinals.
lose, they win. It's unbelievable.
So who are you going with?
I do not like it whatsoever, but I'm going to go with Seattle.
I'm also going with Seattle.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of split ones. And here's another good one coming up that I'm taking. Bills versus Rams. 2 high-powered offenses. I think it should be a pretty exciting game. I'm going to go Bills. Bills. Coach?
I'm gonna go Bills as well.
Nick?
Yep, same here.
Consensus.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Nick, you've got Bears and 49ers. No Christian McCaffrey and no Jordan Mason.
Don't get me started on them either. I'm going Bears. Give me the Bears.
Bears, me too.
The
Caleb
49ers.
Williams looked good. Caleb Williams looked good. He came back and they
Yeah.
played good against the Lions. Now they don't got Eber dipshit out.
It's the new
Creative.
coach game, baby. Every team gets a new coach game.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to go 49ers. That'll be my little, well, that's not my
Perfect.
flyer. I got that one
Perfect.
coming up next. Next one, Coach.
One thing. Let me ask you one thing.
Yes.
I saw this as I don't know if this was Colin Cowherd or where I saw this, but I saw someone propose that the Bears should try and trade for Kyle Shanahan as
I
a
saw
coach.
that.
You saw that as well.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
Kyle Shanahan with Caleb Williams and with what they have on the offensive side of things, I think could be very intriguing because what San Francisco's what they got to figure out with Brock Purdy and how just everything else is what direction they're going and with their cap and everything like that. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, reinvigorate a franchise like Chicago would be something interesting. So just a thought.
Well, you saw the number one coaching name linked to the Chicago job is Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Give him another shot, I guess, and you watch Stephen A. Smith's head blow off because although we had him as our offensive coordinator, and then I think he's like, "Oh, you're not
Yeah.
drafting the quarterback." Yeah, I'm going to go where Jaden Daniels is going, which was a smart call.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Chargers versus Chiefs. Who are you going with?
There's no way.
Going Chiefs.
Yeah.
Going Chiefs. Had to have a little bit of suspense there. It's gonna be a very. You know what? All the props to Harbaugh and the Chargers. Justin Herbert's been amazing. I think he still just has one interception this year. He's been playing at an MVP level, whether people want to recognize him for that or not. Lad McConkey, absolute monster, stud. Quentin Johnson, what the fuck?
He stinks.
But they've, they lost J.K. Dobbins and all that other stuff. So that hurts them a little bit. And I think, the Chargers are a good team. I just think I keep hoping that we're going to play a game where we're the old Chiefs and all three facets of the game where we're just beast mode on. And hopefully it's Sunday night against LA. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. If I thought Quentin Johnson could catch a single football, I might consider picking them, but no.
I'm going Chargers. Gus Edwards will fill J.K. Dobbins' shoes just fine. Justin Herbert's going to send it flying. It's going to be a Chargers win. I mean, if you guys, your defense is your bright spot, and you almost lost to the Raiders, whose offense is trash. I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in you guys. I think you're a little susceptible, and I think Harbaugh is a better coach than Antonio Pierce, and he's going to study whatever we did and do it that much better because he is better, and they're going to run the ball down your throats. That's my prediction. Chargers for the win. And Nick, yeah, you got something?
You just mentioned Antonio Pierce, so I know I asked you a couple weeks ago. Where's the meter at now? How are we feeling?
I still want to give him one more season.
Still want to keep him? All right.
I want to keep him, but if they don't give him a quarterback, then you're just wasting his time. He's going to be the scapegoat for the crap if you go with another bridge quarterback. I already saw some guys that said draft Travis Hunter and start Aiden O'Connell next year.
As much as I like Travis Hunter, you can't start Aiden O'Connell again. There's no way.
175-pound wide receiver is going to fix everything. I don't think so.
Where do you guys go on the offensive coordinator?
Norv Turner actually isn't doing such a bad job filling in right now after we canned Luke Getsy. I hated that signing, by the way.
There's no way Norv Turner is going to – that dude's like 75 years old.
Who cares? These guys die in the
Norv Turner has literally been around since football began. So
and his son Scott Turner's on the offensive staff too. So maybe he can fill in as the OC.
Maybe nepotism is your guys' problem.
But this is the thing I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are drafting. And something's going on outside. Someone might be breaking in. If you guys are drafting a new quarterback, does a coach who's got like a 1-year leash make a lot of sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Like with the Eberflus thing,
I say that's what just happened. Again, is going to happen with the Bears quarterbacks. They've done it
so
times
it's
in a row now.
If you're not 100% sure on AP, are you really going to draft a quarterback that the next regime might not really want? I don't know. I mean, Telesco's not leaving, but I don't know. It's a discussion for another day, maybe. But yeah, I don't know.
Yes, that definitely is another discussion for another day. But as of right now, I'm still on Antonio Pierce getting one more year. I just think you can't expect him to do much with what he has right now. Yeah, and I don't. Sure. And I knew the season was going to be like this anyways. Nick, you have the final game of the night, Monday Night Football, Bengals versus Cowboys.
Bengals, Cowboys. Give me Cincy.
I'm going Cincy as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
their defense is absolute hot, stinking garbage, but Joe Burrow is playing at a very high level.
The single coolest thing that I found out today was that Joe Burrow bought a Batmobile.
The Batmobile from the Dark Knight.
The Batmobile, $3 million. That is heavy money that I wish I had, because there is no doubt that I would buy a Batmobile. No doubt. I would buy the suit. I would everything. I would.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Joe Burrow fan, just because I think he's kind of whatever. But that definitely sold me a little bit there.
add some.
That's
cool things,
that's
no
pretty
matter what.
fantastic. All right, well that
Wouldn't mind
wraps
T.
up
Higgins in
our.
Denver next year, though.
What's that?
Wouldn't mind T. Higgins in Denver next year.
I'm curious to see where he goes. That's one we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on.
The problem is he's going to get paid,
Hmm.
but maybe it's Denver if we weren't
Could
paying
be.
somebody else some money still. But oh well.
Oh well, it's fine. Everything's
You
fine.
guys are doing good enough in the draft.
It's not my money, so
Yeah, it's not your money. Who cares?
yeah.
All right. Well, yep. So I'm glad we got back for another show. We'll try to get back for next week for week 15. I can't wait for the season to be over so we can talk draft and free agency because my season is over, done, dead. But yes, you guys I'll live vicariously through you, and we'll see if our Super Bowl credentials get approved if the Chiefs make it again. And there we go. Ooh, I could also add that if the Broncos make it, we should get to go. There you go.
Damn right. I was just gonna say so.
All right, there. Let me go adjust. I'll go adjust that application
Oh
now.
my
But
God, I don't think you'd be able to even speak, Nick, if you guys made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I would be a wreck.
hey, I already have a place for us to stay in Wisconsin for the draft, so we're strapped there. There we go.
Love that.
All right, fellas. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Abe, thank you for the comment. The rest of the comments, sorry, you didn't make it.
Yeah, be a little bit more politically correct.
Yep.
But we do love comments.
We do, but
name like one of these comments. I just got to know one of them.
one was
Give us
literally,
one.
it was literally just the N-word.
The N word.
That was it.
All right, yeah,
So,
it's time to end it then.
yeah, so that's not going to fly. We don't do racial slurs on the show.
It's
not
December.
approved.
It's not November. Okay, bro. Learn your months, dude. Learn your months. It's December.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you everyone for